Welcome. I think we'll start, if that's okay with you all. My name's Ian Ballard. I'm the Senior Simulation and Skills Technician at Edgehill University. I am currently the only person in the UK who holds a CHSOSA, which is much more American-based than anything as a qualification. Edgehill, do any of you know Edgehill University? You do, of course you do. Edgehill is Modern University Campus of the Year for this year, and we have one clinical skills building, and we have around about 3,000 students across nursing, midwifery and allied health, and we just have a medical school which we've just opened for 2 years. Now, I am not an expert on learning space. I'm sure the man around the corner is much more involved and can do what he wants to do with learning space, but how many of you currently have learning space? Can I just ask 1, 2, 3, 4? Do you have learning space, Liverpool? Do you find it useful? You've only been in it for 6 weeks, but how many users are you? For those that have it, do you use it very often? Do you have a particular person who uses it, or anything like that? No. Okay, so. Sorry, and which university are you at? De Montfort in Leicester. Okay. Okay. We had ours commissioned in December 2019. We didn't have anyone really to use it until, like you, lockdown came along, so we had to work out what we're using very quickly. Any idea what the key components that you'd use it in an ideal world for a simulation management system, and what would be useful in one? Obviously you have it. Is there anything you've considered that's missing from learning space that you'd like to see?
The announcement function is we've asked them to add to it. You can't make announcements in multiple rooms at the same time. You need them to one. We've got better announcements in each room separately, which is 2 times.
Okay. I didn't quite catch that, but.
So in a nasty environment where we've got multiple rooms running at the same time,
yeah.
we need to be able to make an announcement to every room simultaneously.
Okay.
So say you've got 3 minutes left. At the moment we can't do that. We have to put that announcement into each room one at a time. We need to be able to do it all in one go. So
we've done that the other week, so I can maybe show you how we do that. We won't go through that. We'll just go. Does anyone have any challenges apart from having that and using learning space? So.
Yeah, we've had learning space for a while, but we're not really using it yet. Mainly because the learning curve with it is quite high, getting people free for the training, for instance, but then also dovetailing into systems we already have. So it's producing sort of double handling of data, whether it's the room booking or consumable management or whatever it is. So that's proving a little bit of a barrier at the moment.
Okay, and whereabouts are you?
Greenwich.
Sorry?
University of Greenwich.
Oh, okay, so that's with Charles Everard, is that right? No. Okay. I'm sure you all know what learning space is. This is obviously taken from the CAE website. Does anyone know of any other LMS or management systems available out there? These are just a few of the either AV or it's not a pointer on this. The EMS KB port are mainly due for based in America. The oldest one is a European one. I think it's based in Finland. Studio Code was around a long time ago in various forms. It's a Mac-only system, and it was based during, well, it came about from the Australian hockey team, and they used it for that now. And you'll see Studio Code used a lot by a lot of sports teams now. SMOTS is a good AV system that's produced up in Edinburgh. Cameron Communications is another one. I've got Studio Code down there twice. I don't know why, but it used to be 3 times. And Beeline and Little Medical is another one who is very similar in its structure to Learning Space. That's the one I'm talking about. So, how do we use it at Edge Hill? Obviously that's a dashboard. We, probably much like yourself at Greenwich, we have a double system where we send out a booking form, or the faculty send in a booking form to us, and they ask for equipment, the date and the time. We'll give them a room rather than they give us a room. We don't know too much about how they use it. They don't know too much about our room numbering system. And they list the equipment and consumables and everything that's here. If they want to use a standardized participant or a service user, they can book that on there. And the other thing that we have is that they can book facilitators or techs down here if they need them. We do video editing as well as just normal videoing, so we get everyone to do the editing for that. We can either have a facilitator as a debriefer or a facilitator as a trainer, and they can ask us. And this is a list of the room numbers, or the approximate number of people we can have in each room. Once we receive the booking form, we then go to the calendar and book the rooms for them. Generally, when we book a room, we will then put the room numbers they have in there, and we give it. We also use Learning Space for booking in our staff holidays. Part of the reason for that is that we have a limited number of techs, and if someone goes on holiday, we book in the tech as a resource, so that when we book in the rooms, we can use it as the tech as a resource. So if someone's off on holiday, we know that we're going to be one tech down, and we can go from. It tells us when we're short of techs. Once we do that, we make a case for each one, and you can see up there we have NUR 4000 September 21. We have a case that's called NUR 4000 Sim, and it gives us the equipment we have in there, and it adds a setup sheet for that, which gives us all the things that we need to do. And until recently, we couldn't add documents at all to any part of the calendar booking system. So we asked CA if that's possible, and they gave us an area now that once you do your setup sheet, we can then have scenarios on here. We can have the scripts for either phone calls or SPs and everything on there, and also the equipment lists and any checklists. So all our staff have access to this, so they can download the appropriate files for that. And you can see here the list of rooms we have here. Part of what we do is we do the advanced scheduling, so that we send, once we get all these student ID and emails and everything, we'll set up the time slots for them to come into the centre, and we'll send out emails for them to choose their time slots and be able to book into whatever slots they like. That takes a lot of stuff away from the facilitators, who spend a lot of time organising this. This is all automated. and we can create multiple slots. We've just done 1,000 nurses through in the last 2 weeks, and they've all booked themselves onto these courses themselves without too much bother. We also use the inventory. Oh, by the way, we'll be finishing well before time. Just in case. We also use our inventory system, and even my watch has died. We have 2 sites that we have. We have Manchester and we have Ormskirk. Ormskirk is the main campus. Manchester is where we do paramedics and ODPs and surgical courses. So we have all our information, and here we have list the equipment, its ID number, how many we have, what store it's in and where it's stored in, so that when we go in and we book a case and we book the equipment with that, we know that also tells us how many were there and how many pieces we have and how many we don't have. Of course, we use it for the video, which is fairly standard. I think everyone will at some point use it for that one. The other thing we can do with advanced scheduling is start the recording and end the recording as far as that's concerned, without too much. That's all part of the advanced scheduling that comes with it. We don't routinely record anything. Most of the stuff is live streamed, and we only record if asked, or even the OSCEs aren't fully recorded. For some reason I have that in there. That's not necessary. We also have a large list of users. We have at present, including the students, we have something like 4,500 users on our system. Each of them can be subdivided into different categories. Students certainly don't get anything other than being able to book onto the system. We all have we book an activity. For those of you that don't know or haven't been to the thing, to the talk next door, the booking system, when you start up, you make an activity, add a case to the activity, and go from there. You have to add participants and add what are they called? Admin and SPs if necessary. That is very quickly what we do.